Hello everyone, welcome to Faithful to the Traitors, where we are here to discuss Celebrity Traitors Series 1, Episode 8. Semi-final. Penultimate. Celebrity Traitors UK.
Traitors UK Celebrity.
Mm-hmm. Hello everyone, my name is Ben.
Hello, I'm Alex. Well, fancy that for an intro. Spooky. Had about as much enthusiasm as AI Ed Gamble.
Well, I'm channeling Ed Gamble this episode.
Yeah. Wow. Bet you didn't see that one coming, did you, Celia?
Maybe Ed Gamble could take over Claudia's role on Strictly Come Dancing. How did you feel about that?
The energy would be sucked out of that studio, wouldn't it?
Similar to Tess. He could do Tess's role quite easily.
Ed. Yeah. Hi. Did I say my name? I forget.
Yes, you did.
Well, I didn't tell you is that you can get in touch with us by going to our Linktree, linktr.ee/faithful2, and on there it's got all the links to our social media, the ways to watch us on YouTube and Spotify, listen to us on any of your favourite podcast apps, and don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, give us 5 stars if you like listening to the podcast, comment why you've given us 5 stars, tell your friends, share us online, and if you like us so much that you want to give us a little bit of money, need the money? I need the money. Then you can go to our Buy Me a Coffee, buymeacoffee.com/faithful, coff.ee/faithful. On there, you can give us £5 toward the show, which helps with the likes of lights and or cat treats. For our producer, because
Charlie the Cat's better today. After yesterday, cat update, producer Charlie, he's better now.
Anyone who's worried about Charlie, who got in touch and sent us some kind messages to Charlie, he is now better. He hasn't done his. We believe he needs to do one big solid poo,
right? But
he'll get there.
Well, that's the information that you come here for.
You don't get that from AI Ed Gamble, do you?
I don't know. The only thing I ever watch of Uncloaked is when they reveal who the traitors are to the people in a bit of a letter, and then that's it.
I think that's the only
clips I ever see anywhere. So,
but they seem to be the only clips they post, so I'm presuming that's the part most people kind of fast forward because they
the show.
To be fair, iPlayer probably have analytics, so they know what parts get fast forwarded and back and forth, and so they probably see that people just go straight to that bit, watch it, and then click it off. But I'm surmising, as we are surmising about the show itself. So. There was a murder in plain sight. We really did.
Different sides of the spectrum, but 2 icons.
They're still iconic. One murder in plain sight, which Alan did. In the quotes of Alan, I think it was a bit too obvious. But when they showed it, I thought he did a good job. Apart from the fact that he kind of almost infringed his the personal space of Celia by leaning forward and going to kiss her. And then she was like, "Did he kiss you?" And she was like, "No, I was trying something." And it's like, okay. Trying what, Alan?
I mean, yeah, I think Alan did the best of a bad situation.
Absolutely.
I think you could have done that any better, really.
It was a tricky thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, the idea from Kat was, say that Stephen said this. He used that and it worked well. He said, what is it that Stephen says?
What was that thing he said before he was murdered?
Before he goes to bed. And then, sadly, he was sat next to Celia. I did say he's going to go for his friend again. He's done that with Paloma. He's now done it with Celia. But she was sat next to him, so it was either her or Joe in front of him.
Fate was sealed, wasn't it, really? And unfortunately, Alan went for the one closest to him. Again, closest to him personally and closest to him in the facility of the room.
But we didn't see them discussing, because someone commented on Spotify saying, it seems like we've seen less from the turret this series. They didn't show the deliberation about killing Lucy. And also, we've not seen... They didn't show us Kat and Alan discussing who to do it to. Did he just choose Celia at random?
I think Kat, to be honest with you, just let him have free reign. I don't think they really wanted him I don't think Kat wanted to make the decision.
It was just whoever, basically. They had no plan, I guess.
Well, because Alan had the power to do it, maybe Kat thought, well, it's your right to choose who gets murdered. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. You could argue that that's quite a kind thing to do, because it gives Alan kind of a little bit extra power as a traitor. But also it's a bit mean because it means that Kat kind of washes her hands from the responsibility of it. So it's a double-edged sword.
But did Alan choose to sit next to Celia because that's who he wanted to murder, or did production say, you sit here, you sit here, and that was just...
No, I think it was quite natural where they sat down. Again, no one in production we can come up with all kinds of theories. We could say that an elephant walked into a room and sprayed water all over them because no one in production tells us otherwise.
Until it's confirmed.
Until it's confirmed, we'll say it. but we love you all. But yeah, I think they kind of naturally just walked into the room. That was just the natural way that people landed, the way they sat around the table. It was a bit different, this dinner table, because obviously when it's the civilian series of Traitors, they all have they all kind of explain their reasons for why they're doing it, and it's normally quite heartfelt, apart from if you're wanting to turn left on a plane. Made me never forget him. And this time it was like the celebrities are kind of like, well, I've learned a lot from you all, and I feel like I've had a lot of fun. And I thought it was all
a bit pointless.
I thought they might have talked about their charities. That's the one thing I thought they could have maybe done. They could have said, well, I'm doing this because I've got someone who's close to me. Because I would imagine Kate Garraway would especially have a charity close to her heart because of her husband's death recently. So, I just feel like that was a golden opportunity for that to be brought up.
It's just a bit pointless because they were they all had to do their speech and they all kind of looked around like, well, I don't really have anything to say, but I have to because we're being told we all have to say something. But yeah, they should have all said, if I win, this is a charity that I'm doing, and because of blah. But yeah, we haven't heard one thing about that
because it's meant to make the traitors feel a little bit like, I am playing a game, I know, but at the same time, it feels a bit cruel. But obviously, I'm doing it for myself, and I've got as many valid reasons as you have for doing it for a charity and so on. It just, I don't know. I feel like that it didn't have quite the same heart as what it normally did, and it seemed to me it was a vehicle, it was a device just to do the murder in plain sight again in this series,
which no one has really talked about. They didn't theorise it much this episode.
They not though? Because Kate did come up with some theories and talked to Alan about it the next day whilst playing croquet in her giant trousers. They were like two big top tents going down her legs.
She's a fashion girl.
Anyway, yeah, so as we know, Alan plays croquet like it's golf. Kate plays croquet between her legs. Croquet's not a euphemism for a gentleman. And Kate did come up with 3 theories of how they got murdered last night in plain sight. All very good possibilities. So number 1, the sun-dried tomatoes.
Yeah, did you have any? Alan didn't have any.
Who handed who the sun-dried tomatoes?
I wouldn't have had any. I don't like sun-dried tomatoes.
Well, there you go. You couldn't have murdered in plain sight, could you?
I'd be in a frame.
Number 2, cheese.
Oh yeah, what cheese did you ask for?
What cheese did you ask for? What cheeses was there on that table that you specifically responded to another person for wanting?
And it's like she knew that one of her ideas was a bit silly, but then when she kept going, she went, "Oh!" It's like something clicked in her head. She was like, "This must be it. The sun-dried tomato." It's like, oh. So out of your 3 ideas, there was some of them that you genuinely were excited about.
The one she actually gave a title as well. The Chutney Murders.
Yes.
It sounds like referencing back to episode 1, a Rosemary and Thyme episode from a time we forgot in the 90s.
It's when a role that Celia and Nick they have their own daytime show,
the Chutney
solving
Murders.
It
sounds like who's that guy who writes all those murder books? Does Pointless? Why can't I remember? Richard Osman. That sounds like a Richard Osman book to me. The Thursday Murder Club, the Chutney Murders. It sounds like to me like
a group of OAPs who make chutney also solve murders.
They sell chutney at the local village fete where someone was murdered on the big wheel.
Ex-detective Nick Mohammed and retiree Celia.
And the Joker play like the yokel pumpkin. Like, oh, I don't see nothing, mate. What do you mean, Nick? Joe, I love you, and that's why I can
Which
tease
Joe
you.
are you talking about?
Joe Marler, of course.
I was talking about Joe Wilkinson because he's
Joe
actually
Marler,
an actor.
Can we just take a moment for Joe Marler on his hand and knees, crawling around on the floor?
What, not his gameplay, his strategic skills, his mind? No, him on his knees on the floor.
Never his mind. I mean, Joe and Nick are a force to reckon with. And I think the Traitors, when... I'd like to think that Alan thought it through this deeply. But when they got rid of Celia... I feel like, as we said in the last episode, they were the trio. They were like the ones that were really unraveling the mystery of who the traitors are. Nick, Joe, Celia. And I hope that the reason, although I suspect it's not, but I hope the reason why Alan went for Celia was because he wanted to break them up. And it did cause a real ripple through the whole breakfast table the next following day. Kate again was upset that people weren't more upset that more happy that she was there. Kate really does sometimes make it about her. A little bit too much, I feel. Throughout the whole episode.
Alan reacted when she walked in. She was like, "Oh, you're overreacting. Do you think I'm a traitor now?" And it's like, oh, for God's sake. Can't do anything. But
Kate, throughout the whole episode, kept saying, "Oh, you will think I'm a traitor. You will think I'm a traitor." But it kind of balanced out with her also saying to everyone, well, I'm going to get murdered tonight. I'm going to get murdered tonight. So it's like, which one is it, Kate? Are you a traitor or are you a faithful? Which one? Make your own mind. I don't think Kate really knew what she was anymore.
She's so balanced in her interview technique that she's both.
She is a very balanced interviewer.
She brought up her profession about 8 times. She's kept, every time anyone asked her any question, well, it's just, I'm so used to being so open on not judging people on my unbalanced ITV breakfast morning news show that I just don't know how to read people anymore.
Very unbalanced. Good Morning Britain, isn't it? Curiosity Kate, she was named by her dad. Curiosity Kate. And that's what's got her through life. And she said that she can laugh at herself, which is sometimes perceived as a bit ditzy. Because as you said, it was brought up by Joe and by Kat that her curiosity is good, but sometimes it leads her down the wrong path and she comes and
sun-dried tomatoes.
She sun-dried tomatoes, chutney murders. She misleads people. So she doesn't believe she's a traitor, but she believes she was a bad faithful. And Joe said that, Joe said you're quite professional on television. And that's why seeing you on this show.
Joe's never watched that.
No, clearly not. Seeing you on this show, running around like a headless chicken, not really understanding what's going on, it's baffled me a little bit. It feels like you're putting on an act. And that's kind of sealed Kate's fate, sadly.
Joe's outed himself as not ever watching ITV in the morning, I feel, by saying that comment. Because if you'd seen her,
makes me love him more.
She is exactly who she is. So there you
go. Joe's a BBC breakfast guy. I reckon Joe's a Radio 4 guy. You know, he likes a nice woman's hour.
Not classical in the morning. What he's doing is
Classical just played music all the time. I remember I used to work somewhere and they used to play classical, and it literally was just advert song, advert song. There was no bits in between.
Kate does classical, doesn't she?
No, she does
one of them.
Not Magic. She does the other one. Oh Christ, what's it? Heart. Oh. I think she does Heart. She does Heart in the afternoon. Oh, Kate. She's a busy woman.
I mean, Joe Marler is basically this year's ultimate faithful, isn't he? He is the one who is running the head of the faithfuls, not Stephen Fry. Joe Marler is the one who's ruling this roost with his sidekick Nick. But Joe is the one who...
Psych Nick.
Yes. Joe's the one who can he can just sort of bulldoze his theories, and he's not scared of murder. He's not scared. He just says it how it is, stares at people, raises up his shoulders and puffs out his chest, and he takes on anyone.
It's funny because...
And he survived, but I feel like he would have been murdered last week if that shield saved him. But
100%.
They kind of overlooked him before then. Maybe they should have got rid of him or Nick before now, but...
Yeah, because I don't think Joe's name was brought up that often at all. No. They seem to go for maybe on purpose or not, the traitors seem to go for the more kind of lower hanging fruit for when they committed their murders.
Well, we know Alan, he kills the gays and the women. So.
The only exception to that rule was the Joe Bond, the Joe Wilkinson, Joe Marler, when they were getting very close to the truth. And so they stopped that. They cut the head off the snake and went for Joe. And then went for well, maybe, but Joe, we don't know. Joe Wilkinson could have been just as equally as good.
True.
When the two Joes were together, we were both saying how strong they were together. And Joe Marler, quite rightly, when he lost his BFF, he saved his head today, though, which is always good. I was worried if he was going to take that head home with him, but he didn't.
I'm very worried you were going to go.
It's like, what's that film? Oh, actually, no, that would ruin the ending of a film, so I shan't say that. Even though it's a very old film, I don't want to be accused of spoilers.
What, a head? In a box?
In a film which has a title which could also be a number, the ending is a head in a box.
There's a head in a box in Prison Break. And then they regretted their decision for killing the character, and then she magically wasn't that head. And she was like, that was a different head. I'm still alive. So
that didn't quite happen in the film.
Okay.
But no, Joe Marler is definitely heading for created a good team with Nick. Celia's gone, which is a shame. But in this episode, Joe went to David after the Roundtable and told David his theories. Both Nick and Joe have said Kat and Alan. So they've got them. They just now need to convince David. And unfortunately for us, I don't think David's going to be that easily convinced, because I think David's of such a rogue.
People have been going after David, so why should he trust Joe? And maybe he's suspicious of Joe. He's being too faithful. Maybe he's a traitor.
Yeah, but David said, and he did bring up the fact that he's been kind of chased a lot throughout the series. And he brought up that he thought that Kate was the one who kept bringing him up. Because at one moment at the round table, there was this moment where it kind of made it look like that it was a traitor on traitor attack on each other.
It did.
Kat and Alan kind of sat back and let it happen. Alan looked a bit perturbed by it. He looked a bit frightened that this was happening, which was weird.
I couldn't believe their luck, probably, because Joe was just sitting there with his mouth open, like, just looking between them. But it looked like two traitors fighting each other, Kate and David.
And I think this helped David, because then when Kate did eventually get voted off at the round table, banished, she came out as being faithful. I actually think that then instantly turned Joe's mind around to, actually, I don't think David...
Yeah, he must be faithful.
He must be faithful. I don't think that looked like a traitor on traitor, but now Kate's been seen as faithful. I think David...
It was two faithfuls.
So I think it's just an accidental faithful on faithful.
I mean, I do wonder if Kat and Alan can do this now. I feel like Joe and Nick are too strong, that they're just not going to end the game. They're just going to keep saying revote, 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 because they're not going to trust... Until Kat and Alan are gone, I don't know how they can do this. I suppose they're going to have to get rid of David first.
No, why though?
Because
they're trying to get David on side.
Traitors, I mean. They're going to have... Because they need to whittle the faithful down.
They need the votes. The problem here is
one
that
banishment and then it's the fire pit, isn't it?
Nick and Joe are going to now be a very strong unit. Even though on this round table, Nick was the only one who kind of deviated. Everyone voted or went for Kate. Nick voted for Kat. Joe shook his head, I think in a disbelief that like he wasn't kind of like joining in, and a bit worried that maybe people would then target Nick. But then later, Joe said, actually, him doing that has made me confirm that actually, yes, it must be Kat. From this point onwards, Nick and Joe need to be on the same page. They have to vote together, because if they don't vote together... all it takes is Kat and Alan to vote the same thing, and then either Nick or Joe to do the same. So, for argument's sake, David, if Kat and Alan go for David, and then Nick says, oh yeah, I'm going to go for David too, not only does that make Joe stand on shaky ground, because then he'll be starting to worry that, something's going wrong.
Okay, so at the first banishment, the traitors need to convince... Basically, this all rides on David. The traitors are going to want to get rid of... who are they going to try and blame? Nick over Joe? And then the two faithfuls, Nick and Joe, are wanting that third vote from David to get rid of one traitor.
I don't think the traitors have got a chance in hell of getting Nick and Joe to vote for each other.
No, exactly.
Not a chance.
All of this is relying on David, who David believes, whether he believes Alan and Kat or Nick and Joe.
So they need to... So Kat and Alan need to not convince Nick and Joe to vote for David. They need to convince David to vote for either Nick or Joe. Kat and Alan then need to be on the same page as him.
Yeah.
It really does hinge on this round table, because they have to, on this last round table, get rid of one more traitor. Because if they're at the fire pit with two traitors and two faithful, they're in a bit of trouble, because the faithful are in trouble, I should say, because it's going to go round and round in circles. They're just going to keep voting 2, 2, 2, 2. And again, we're going to end up with a random chance eviction at the fire pit, which would be a first for the series. We've had a first already.
A random chance box at the fire pit?
It's going to have to be if they keep going around in circles, because there's no way they're going to be able to unvote, unless, of course, Kat or Alan backstab one another. And they decide they're going to take the money.
They've done their pinky promise in the turret.
But they certainly have. They said they're going to split.
To the end, and if it comes to it, they'll split.
Yes.
So have they kept that in the edit on purpose, because it's going to be a Traitors dilemma?
Traitors dilemma, which we've never had in the UK series. It's only happened once on the Australian series.
Yes, well.
Just letting the fact files know.
But I don't know if the traitors can do it. It depends on David. He's so aloof and quiet. You don't really know what he's thinking, really.
I agree with you there. David's a real enigma and a real tough cookie to crack, egg to crack, cookie to crumble. I don't know. I'm making up metaphors, but suffice to say, I think David is the pinnacle, the person who's going to make the final decision. It's such a shame that David is such a lone ranger, like such a he kind
it does
of
come down to this
theories,
quite often though. It's like the random faithful who's not really in a team is the one who ends up being the pinnacle one, and that's what he's ended up becoming.
But I think you're right to say that David's been damaged by Joe. He's been damaged. To be fair, he's been damaged by everyone.
Because Joe came up to him and said to him after the banishment in the hallway, he said, "Oh, the two traitors are these two," and he was very, "We're faithful, we're faithful." I wonder if David was looking at Joe and thinking, "You might be." He's maybe convinced him that he's actually a traitor by accident, like because he's so straight in there with his gameplay of get these two out. So I do wonder what David's going to think. I don't know.
I think the traitors,
smart.
The traitors, if they're smart, I think they should go for Joe, because I think Joe, because he's pushed his ideas so heavily onto people, he seems to be the one who most likely would be a traitor. They'll never convince Nick, as we said already, but David, they might. So I think if Kat and Alan are smart now, they convince David, that Joe is the traitor. And as I say, if they're going on 2-on-2, and especially if one of the faithful is David, I think we're in a really tricky situation. Before we do the fact files of the people who've gone, I want to mention something else that Nick brought up in today's episode, which he had mentioned earlier in the series to Joe. And it's a gameplay that it comes up quite often now on Traitors, and that is to stick close to the traitors, the ones you know are traitors, so that you ride to the end of the final, and then right at the very end you then
blindside.
Exactly. To quote Nick on today's episode, it's about survival and then pulling the rug at the end, which is so eloquently summed up, because that's exactly what it is. You stick to there's traitors there, you stick to them, you cling to them, you let them ride you to the final. Because let's be honest, Nick has made it to the final because he's just been kind of floating about. So he's not been too... his convictions haven't been too hard that it's made Kat and Alan frightened. And now he's made it to the final, and he's saying to Joe, this is now our opportunity.
And he voted for Kat on this one, didn't he?
He did, because it's the end. So he knows now this is the opportunity. We now need to now pull the rug, to quote Nick, from underneath the traitors.
But he didn't think Alan before. He just thought Kat, and he thought Lucy, didn't he?
Well, Joe's the one who brought up Alan and Kat. Joe was the first one who said, after the round table, I'm convinced it's Alan and Kat. I wish that maybe he said something extra, maybe he didn't, but I wish that they say why he thought that, because there was something... Oh no, it was around the fire pit, wasn't it? When Alan said something. So
he laughed.
Not only when he laughed when he said, I'm a traitor, because they all had to look at... Sorry, I'm a faithful. There you go. He laughed because he said he was nervous. But then later on, Joe said, it's real relief to know that I can sleep well tonight. And Alan said, yeah, it's really nice. But it kind of said it with a tone attached to it. And Joe looked at David and then he swung his eyes toward Alan as if to say... Come on, this is him. He's in plain sight now telling us he is a traitor.
Poor Alan. I think out of the two traitors, I think Alan's probably the most likely to get banished before fire pit.
I think Kat's the one who's kind of stayed. It's funny though, because Alan's been the one who no one's really thought about, but it's because it can't be. It's not because he plays necessarily a good game. It's because it's just it can't be Alan, can it? It can't be, can it? And so that's kind of got him going to the end. That Paloma, let's be honest, in episode 2, when he murdered Paloma, that was a pure genius. And although
huge sacrifice,
but although Jonathan tried to pull off the same with was it Ruth?
Ruth, yeah.
With Ruth, he tried to pull off the same by doing the murder to Ruth. It didn't quite work because people still talked about it. But the Paloma thing, people just cannot get out of their minds that Alan would murder Paloma Faith. So it was a very shrewd move by Alan, and it was very smart.
And then he did it again with Celia. So 2 of his close friends.
Yes, but I think that killed that literally hurt everyone. I think everyone's heart broke when they saw Celia didn't walk in. And my heart broke when she didn't walk into the room. I just
wanted to see her do the final challenge in a helicopter or whatever.
Oh my god, imagine her bungee jumping off her, or going along a cliff edge and then hoisting a flag up a ship.
Her insurance cost too much. They wouldn't even let her cross a bridge, would they?
Maybe not.
So we did lose 2 Huns of this series today. So
what's your name and where do you come from?
Celia.
Do you want to know a bit about Celia? What do you know about her?
She's an icon.
You knew her from a comedy thing once, didn't you?
Yeah. Acorn Antiques, but she's done
Bridget Jones,
Calendar
Girls, St. Trinian's. You know who's in that? Paloma Faith. Marigold Hotel. She's been in both of those films. Mamma Mia, and she's also just announced that she's in a new show with Nick Mohammed. So
yes, that was announced during this series, wasn't it?
How convenient!
It's almost like they planned it.
So there you go. Actress.
She was born in Glasgow.
Ooh.
It's funny how because Miriam
Miriam, yeah,
she was born in Glasgow, and neither of them have a very thick Glaswegian accent.
No, it was trained out of them back then, wasn't it? To be actresses.
Yeah, trained out of them.
Miriam said. Miriam was asked to do the series. She said no.
Oh, is that true?
Yes.
I mean, she would have had a tricky time doing the challenges.
That's true.
Especially the laser one. Imagine her trying to crawl under the thing. I'm going to bow this one out, Claudia.
Poor Miriam. She would be good though. I think she'd be good if it wasn't for
that picture
of what, Kate Garraway.
Yeah,
Kate Garraway. She's a journalist.
So you were about to say something about
what?
Miriam. You said it would have been good if
if she did the show but just not the missions.
Yes.
She'd be really good on like the roundtables and stuff.
She could
She'd be funny.
she could have the role of the guide. They've done that in the American series.
That's true.
So she could be the person
every week.
Well, yeah. So she doesn't do the challenges, but she does the everything else. So the round table, and she does the conversations. So she could be seen as the guide. So maybe she can't be banished, but it's guaranteed she's not a traitor.
Well, she says she doesn't watch it, that rubbish, and she doesn't want to do it.
So. Oh, okay. Well, then that's muted me.
She ain't doing it.
Fair enough.
So Kate Garraway's journalist.
She's a journalist, everybody.
GMTV. Meridian News she started on.
She started on Meridian. That
There
used
you
to be
go.
our old
Yeah,
catchment
our
area.
local one. I want to see what her journalist background is, actually. Let me see how it looks.
She started on Meridian. That's baffled me. She must have
She
worked
did
with Fred
Sunrise
Dinage.
on Sky News as well. Gosh.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Sunrise.
She's never moved on from daytime news presenting, basically, is what I'm getting from her Wikipedia page.
If you got a thing, stick to it. I'm sorry. Oh, she did Strictly. I was about to say, did she release an album?
She did Masked Singer.
She did.
She did Celebrity Get Me Out of Here. Strictly Come Dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's finished her career with the Celebrity Traitors.
You know how, like, in America, they have the BAFTA, the Emmy, the
EGOT.
The EGOT. They should do that for UK celebrity TV shows. So Strictly, I'm a Celebrity, Traitors, Masked Singer.
Brother.
Big Brother. What would the initials be? Oh, yeah, MasterChef. All the considered larger reality shows, not the ones like Living on a Farm or Weight Loss Hotel or something like that. The actual ones that people know and love and remember. Not the ones on Channel 5 is basically what I'm trying to say, because Channel 5 did one when you had to inseminate a pig.
Oh, yeah. What was that? Was with that woman who had the affair with David Beckham. She was on that, where she had to like make a pig ejaculate. Do you remember that? It was like front page news for some reason.
Yeah, well, because it's
No one knows why.
it was literally like, this is what British television has come down to. And we're watching a celebrity, heavy use of the inverted commas there, trying to
Milk
jack
pig.
off a pig. Milk's a very polite way of saying jacking off a pig. And yeah,
I'm
that
trying to keep
happened.
the broadcasting standards here between us.
Ofcom didn't say anything.
No, they enjoyed it.
No.
Final next week. One episode left. We have to wait a whole week and a day.
Oh, I don't think I can.
But what are your thoughts or feelings? Are you feeling traitor win?
I
Faithful win?
think I've summed up what I feel, and that is that the faithful need to collect. They need to work together. Obviously, they don't know who's faithful and traitors, but they need to collectively get rid of one more traitor before the fire pit.
Nick and Joe finish the game with David there if they've gotten rid of Kat and Alan?
No.
Or do you think they'll also get rid of David?
I think Nick and Joe have basically decided
Just them.
They're going to be the two faithful that make it
Yeah.
to the end. That's
So,
what I mean. David is a bit of a
David's
spare
the pinnacle
part.
one for them to win, but he's a spare part as in both the teams will probably get rid of him.
To use a Nintendo metaphor,
Right.
David is the Yoshi when you're trying to get to the top of the flagpole.
Do you want to elaborate
If you
on
know,
that for
you
our
know.
viewers? No? Okay.
Well, if you're on the back of Yoshi and you want to do a super high jump, you
Right.
basically sacrificed Yoshi's
life.
Yeah, by getting rid of him, and then it makes you leap higher. So David is the sacrificial Yoshi.
Nick's the Mario and Joe's the Donkey Kong then.
Yeah, Joe's Donkey Kong, Nick's Mario.
Alan's
We've lost our
Bowser.
Daisy, which was Kate.
Yeah, well.
Cat is Toad.
And Alan's Bowser.
Alan's Bowser.
Very good. Right, so everyone, you have a week and a day. Is it a week and a day? I don't know.
Week and
I
a
don't know
day.
what date it is anymore.
So
For the finals,
yes.
to get in touch with us, who you want to win, what you think of the series, who's been your favourite faithful, who's been your favourite traitor. Is there something you would have liked to see more of? Nico, he went very early.
I was so sad that Nico left. When they showed Nico's head today in the challenge, the laser beam challenge, and they showed Nico's head, it made me think, it's a bit of a shame Nico went so quickly. I think he would have been quite interesting as a player.
So let us know what your thoughts of what the celebrity. Will you like it? Do you not like it? Who you want to win? All sorts.
Nico was banished, so he could technically come back. You can't come back if you're murdered, but you can come back if you're banished. Isn't that
Sorry,
right, Kate?
Ruth. Poor Ruth.
Poor Ruth. Oh, yeah, and Celia. We can never see Celia again. But, yes, so get in touch with us. Our link tree, linktr.ee/faithful2. On there's got all our links to our social media. You can get in touch with us by DMing or just commenting underneath our posts. You can also find ways to watch or listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, or any of your favorite podcast apps. Comment underneath if you're watching us on YouTube or on Spotify. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us, like, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up, give us 5 stars, tell your friends, tell people online, tell your mum. Do a seance. Tell the dead. Do everyone, okay? And if you like the podcast and you want to help us monetarily, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/faithful or coff.ee/faithful. And on there, you can give us a £5 donation, which helps run the show. Just a little footnote, because if I say it and put it out in the world, we can't go back on it. We're going to be recording the final episode of Celebrity Traitors UK straight after the episode's aired.
Are we?
Yep.
Well, I'm going to be in bed, so...
Well, I won't be, so I'll be doing it with me and Charlie, and that means the episode will be out very quickly.
Will it?
You do all the work, I just sit there and watch.
No, you'll be doing all the work on that episode.
I've already told you, if we do it, I promise you a little coffee treat the next day.
Get my own, thank you.
I'll let you stay in bed, you have a nice lie-in, I'll feed the cat. And then after I fed the cat, I've got half an hour before he has to have his medical injection. So I'll pop off to a lovely little local barista, and I'll get you your favourite 2-shot vanilla latte.
Oh, I don't like vanilla, so you don't even know that.
2-shot caramel latte. So I'm talking about myself.
Well, we'll see you next week for the big final, everyone.
Yes, we will.
Goodbye.